Thank you. What's up, guys? Arrow here. Yep, Arrow's 12. That's me. And today we're still going to do the squad system, but there are some serious issues that were encountered over the weekend. Earlier last week, there was some serious bugs that actually not only crippled the game's ability to let players in, but also really hampered the AI. Everything was just almost in a mess. And for that, I have to say this. I apologize if it happened, and we'll get through this. I will fix the game. In fact, it's going well, the mend. And I mean, yeah, we we will fix it. We'll get it back up online and running. So, anyways, let's get into today's stream and what we're supposed to be doing. And what we're supposed to be doing today is, last time we were there, we actually worked on this, which is the personnel. Now, if we look into the replicated storage, we have some items here. Let's see if we can actually show those. So if you want to actually make a loadout for each faction, you're going to have at least a minimum of a service secondary. Basically a service pistol or any secondary that you can use as your main secondary as a squad. Certain factions may get limited amounts of arsenal, so you never know, like limited arsenal. But yeah, let's go let's go through this. So first thing I'm going to do is duplicate that, call this loadout. So the loadout, basically what will happen is you select the service weapons that you use. And if you have these weapons, whenever you join a game as a squad, or as a partly a squad, it applies still. But it only applies if 3 members of the squad are in the game, or more. It cannot be 2, it can only be 3. Remember, 2's a companionship, 3's a crowd. Key rule here for what we have to deal with. So let's get straight to that. Now I'm going to get rid of these, of course. Now I am going to actually have to scroll a bit. Alright, now we got that. What I'm going to do with this title is I'm going to change it to Set Up Service Loadout. Now why do I call it a service loadout? Well, if you've ever heard the term service rifle or service pistol, you'll know what I mean here when I talk about service loadout. It's basically the squad's primary loadout. Think of it as that. So now we got that. Just like the service MG for Germany back in, I think it was World War II, was the MG42. The service rifle for the Americans back in Vietnam was the M16. You have a service rifle, depending on who you're dealing with in the unit system, for this kind of thing. And that reminds me, we also have to work on, I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have to work on actually adding in the drop down. So let's see if we have that. If we do, we should be able to get that right. And actually put in the names of certain units. Yep, we have drop down, so that's good. Okay, let's get started. So first thing I'm going to do with that, regarding the drop down, is I'm going to create a frame. Or actually, I'll create a button. And we're going to call this button Unit D for unit drop down. Just short for that. And then we're going to put this all the way in terms of the X value at 1. And then we're going to put this at 1. 0, 0, 0. Shorten this down straight to, let's just say, 0.25, 0, 0.0750. I like to keep it short so that it works. And let's move this down a bit by 5. Make that color, let's just say, let's go with the more grayish, or actually, yeah, let's do that. 25, all across the board. I'm going to give this a color of this. And we're going to go for, let's just say, Titanium Web. Make a text scale so you can see the text and it can fit on console if you were to use this. Let's go with select a unit. And there you have it. So select the unit does this. Select the unit actually allows you to select, like I said, a unit. But you get to customize that unit's service loadout. In fact, let's change this title to service loadouts, because there's many different loadouts that you can choose from for each unit. But yeah. So now what we have to do next is let's put a do statement in here. And let's do this. Sorry about that, guys. Some of the keys actually got a little jammed up while I was working yesterday. Anyways, let's see. Local drop down equals, oh wait, pseudo instance. And we forgot to get pseudo instance, so let's put that in. So I'm going to copy this, go up, go local pseudo instance equals resources, load library. Now this is going to end early at 10:30 as planned. We're supposed to start at 9:30, but we were late. It's okay at the end of the day though. Okay. Pseudo instance. And then we're going to get that and make .new. Drop down. This is what our engine uses. We use our own drop down pseudo instance for those of you who are interested in Rostrap, even though it's no longer in development, sadly. It's another reason why I discontinued the series that I had on Rostrap. Not just because of my microphone having issues at the time of the last tutorial. Like after that, it had issues like a few months later, and I had a lot of work to do. But also after that, Rostrap was discontinued, sadly. However, I still use it from time to time. I mean, I cannot change the engine all the way in terms of its architecture, because if I did, that could break the game if you're not careful. So let's see. I'm going to go with UI dot what? Hold on, let me just check that. Okay. Let's say views dot loadout. Okay, hold on, let it autosave. Okay, and let's say unit D. But first, oh yeah, unit D dot text. Let's see about that. Actually, that's the title. Almost forgot. Unit. It's supposed to be unit, not unit D. Or the text. Unit D. And gamepad selection is not going to happen. So it's going to be false. Okay. Drop D dot title equals this. And then we're going to do drop D dot options. Now here's all the units in the game. First up is the infantry, regular infantry. Now I think I'm gonna have to open up the game, but that will be after the break because right now I am quite busy. I'm gonna do that after the break, so yeah. Anyways, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, so I'm back. And not only did I manage to get a second cup of coffee, I also managed to find the unit script that I was looking for. So, yes, what you're seeing on screen is the unit script right there being selected. It is a package. So, we're going to use all of this right here to actually make this happen. Anyways, onslaught infantry is just simple. We just add it in there. So onslaught infantry. Okay, onslaught infantry is there. Now we need to find the other unit, which should be breach. Nope, grenadier. Yes, there is a grenadier infantry in there. So let's see, grenadier infantry. Alright, if you had an ultra wide monitor, you would see the full name of every single unit. I'm not kidding. So now we got breach infantry, which actually uses shotguns, of course, in the game. And let me just actually put this right where it's supposed to be. Outcast is a SMG wielding user or unit. So when you select SMGs, you want to select the ones that work for your unit and what your unit is all about. Because, and this goes for any unit that you have. What makes your unit different? There will be emblem support and all that stuff later. But for right now, we're just going to focus on just adding in the units today. And then if there's time, which should be happening, this is only going to take like a few minutes, then we should be able to add in the primaries and the secondaries and all that stuff. And then be on our merry way. Paramilitary Outcast is next, by the way. That's basically, they use paramilitary rifles and pistol caliber carbines, which is basically a SMG but semi-auto only. So yeah, paramilitary Outcast, it would be paramilitary. And this is just the Outcast. So let's see what's next. Military. Civilian is next. Yep, civilian outcasts. They not only have PDWs, but they also manage to do another thing, which is heal players, but only with first aid kits, meaning they can only use first aid kits. Those kits are coming. They're not in the game yet, but when they will be, it will be much smaller of a package than you would usually find. Alright, and the Gorilla Outcast. Which can use carbines, of course. If they couldn't use carbines, well, you know how that goes. It would be really boring to even use the gorilla when there's other units there. Every single one is unique. And, let's see. Gorilla, what else is there? Now we're going straight into the machine guns. Bandolier, they all use machine guns. However, one of them has limited ammunition, but can be mounted on vehicles. I think they're going to also use GPMGs more than the regular bandolier will use. The bandolier can only use LMGs, and the assistant can use LMGs and carbines. So I think that's how it's going to be, because it would be very confusing if both could mount on a vehicle. Now the one unit left out that actually was planned to go in was the Riot Bandolier. But due to the lack of shields and a good lack of melee weapons, well, we actually have melee weapons, we just don't have enough for a choice. That's not going to happen. Anyways, let's get to it. Assistant Bandolier should be Assistant Bandolier. Okay, and what's next? Let's check. Gunner. Anyways, we have the gunner, we have the assistant, and the bandolier. Let's move forward, shall we? Oh yeah, the scout marksman. Oh, I almost forgot. These have to be together. Or actually, do they? No, they don't. So the scout marksman is based on the marksman, but it's very different. Instead of using Scharfschützengewehre, or as the Germans would call it in German, snipers. Well, actually, the English would call it snipers. Anyone who speaks English. But yeah, you get the point. Instead of using snipers, they use PCCs. What else do they use? They can also have binoculars, which can help spot targets. Yes, they're spotters. Just simply, and they just only have semi-automatic weapons that are small for close quarters defense. Now you have the marksman. The marksman is just like it is, a marksman. They can use a sniper. They can also use, well, actually, they cannot use DMRs. I almost forgot, they cannot use DMRs because DMRs is reserved for something else. My bad. That's my mom, if you heard that. Anyways, let's get back into this. Partisan marksman is basically the guy with the DMR. They can only partially do damage that can kill. Meaning, if they ever use anything, it's either a 5.56 DMR, or if they have a 7.62 DMR, it's usually towards the torso. I mean, it's not really long range like the sniper. I mean, it's a hard concept to actually, understand the difference between a DMR and a sniper. You feel me? So, okay. Anyways, let's just get into this. Partisan, check. Marksman, check. Okay, that's it. You were thinking, wait a minute, isn't there another one? Well, there was going to be another unit called the Sharpshooter Marksman, but that one we cannot put in because of the lack of anti-material rifles. Yes, AMRs are the signature feature or weapon of the, let's just say, I don't know, marksman? I mean, sharpshooter marksman. You get the point. So anyways, let's go to the genius utility. Yes. I said utility. This is the only unit type that does not have a main primary unit. Everything is departments here. There's nothing like the others. The genius utility is actually the genius, the engineer, basically. They can build things. And what else? We got 20 minutes left before the stream ends. So let's make this count. Okay. Genius utility is in there. Medical utility is going to be the medic in the value. Basically, it is. Hold on, let me show you. This guy. This is important to note that the medical ordnance utility, or just the medic utility, is a very important. Actually, yeah. Let's just call this medical utility. Because ordnance makes it even longer, and I don't like that. The medical utility is actually a medic. Just put it that way. The medic actually does work. My bad. The medic actually does work in game now. Before it was broken. Trust me, I know. Now it is completely fixed. You don't have to worry about any problems except for the fact that the AI cannot walk up right due to some serious bugs. Okay. Now, what's next is as follows. You have the medical utility. Now we're moving on to the explosive. This is the last one. Explosive. And done. Basically, these are all the available units in the game. You have these drop downs, right? So drop D dot parent should be, if I can get this right, we won't need this anymore. I think it should be. Hold on, let me find out. Oh yeah, I know what it is. UI.views .loadout, and there we have it. Now another problem is that we cannot access this, so we're going to actually do it. Okay, so UI dot squad menu manage menu dot what loadouts dot activated connect, and we'll do function, go down here, make that, and then we'll do this. UI dot fields dot UI page layout jump to UI dot views dot loadout, and that's it, I think, for the unit section. Now it should work, but yeah, this is gonna take a while, and just sit tight. That's all I can say. Just sit tight. Should be operational soon. We are gonna have to end this earlier than expected. So just keep that in mind. As soon as 10:30 hits, it's over. We did start late, so just so you know. Alright. Now, all we have to wait for is the game to load. And if it does load, you should be able to get some really good stuff out of it. Okay. So I'm going to go to loadouts. Interesting. Ah, okay. I think I understand what the problem was here. So I'm gonna fix that now. What we should have done was we should have went to UI templates and grabbed the drop down list. So where is that? Oh, it's right here. And done. Let's try that again. And let's see if that works. Alright. Just waiting for a minute. Okay. And okay. Faction. Loadouts. Okay, something's wrong here. Unit D should be actually in there. I don't know why they say it's not. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. Hold it. Okay. Local text equals that. And just put that in. Just like that. And yeah. Let's try it again. So now. So now what we got to deal with is making sure this works. The way it will work is that whenever you select a unit, if we can click on that, and as you can see here, it works. Surprisingly. It works so nicely though. Like you can see you got all these units here. Every single one. And you just select that if you don't want to do any of them. And it's beautiful. Okay, pause that for a minute. I'm gonna fin. Sorry about that. My voice is just weird right now. So, I'm going to finish up my coffee and we'll be right back for the next portion. Who would have known that it works? All right, so I'm back, and wow, this worked. I'm actually quite surprised because, it was buggy at first. But now, this is where the good stuff happens. So what I'm thinking here is a grid of weapons in which, or as the Germans would put it, Waffen. Just being a little funny today. That actually shows you what you can select for each one. So this is how we're going to do this. We're going to put this at 1, 0, 0.1, 0. Or actually 0.9. My bad. I had to put that right there. And this is 0.1. Oh, wait. Holy crap. I just realized something. This is too big for that. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, this is where stuff happens. This is where the weapons are displayed in a row. Okay? Keep that in mind. We're going to make that transparent so you can see every weapon. And we're going to call this frame items. Next up, we have to do what I like to call, let's just say slots. Yeah, this is basically not a slot machine, but it's where you find a lot of, the loadout slots. There are 7. So let me tell you what those 7 are, just as a recap. You have primary, which is a rifle or gewehr or any type of primary weapon. Secondary is usually a pistol, but it can be any type of other primary weapon, such as a revolver or even short rifles and shotguns. Number 3 is the grenades, throwables. Number 4, bombs, any explosive that can be planted and then detonated either remotely or through timers. Number 5 is a launcher. It could be a grenade launcher, it could be a missile launcher, it could be a rocket launcher. I don't care. It has to be launching some kind of explosive in order for it to work. Number 6 is actually melee. Melee being any weapon you can use that can actually do some blunt force trauma to an enemy. And number 7 is quite vague, but I'll explain it in detail. So number 7 is something that's kind of related to the trowel and brick battle, but it's very different. What do I mean by that? Well, the trowel was used as a roll-like weapon, or a utility. Basically, you can climb walls or high areas with it. You utilize it for some kind of purpose other than just killing enemies. Alright, this is where this comes in. You can use this for medical reasons. You can use this for building stuff on the ground, just like the trowel. You can use it for even, sighting enemies and other things. And other things in that category. And you can even use it to resupply other members. Like, you can use ammo boxes to resupply, let's just say, I don't know. Like, you could resupply other members in your squad, and you can also resupply them with not just ammo, but grenades. Seriously, this is possible. Now, here's the deal. So, what we got next is pretty serious of a job to deal with. To put all 7 of those slots in this one frame. So let's do that. I'm going to grab this button, put it in here, take this out. Now some of these may get hidden depending on what slots you're dealing with. So keep that in mind. 1, 1, 0. And we're going to make this 1/7. We're going to take the slots and shorten it. No, I'm serious. We're going to shorten it. Because here's the problem. We cannot keep this like this if it's going to be this long. So I'm going to make it like that. Okay. Next is going to be this. A UI list layout will power this one. For the other one, it's a grid. That way you can see everything, and you can scroll through it, select your squad's weapons. They have to customize them to their liking. If they want, all their stuff gets applied regarding attachments. You get the point. So first is primary. Okay, and we're going to actually have to fix that because that can be a serious problem right there. Instead of vertical, it's horizontal. Okay, this is primary. This is like a loadout screen for the squad only. So yeah, it is another iteration of that. This is secondary. So secondary goes like okay. Grenade. Oops, my bad. You may have seen that, but hopefully you didn't. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Bomb. Okay, and then finally we have what I like to call roll. So as you can see right here, there are 7. Oops, we missed one. And this one should be 5. Okay. Layout order will be based on something else. So this is launcher. That's the one we forgot. And in fact, you know what? I have a better idea. Instead of going completely horizontal, let's go vertical. Because we did that before and it actually worked. 0.875. Move it all the way over. It was going to be horizontal, but now I'm like, no. That cannot work. I'm serious. So let's see, 0.125. And then go with 1. Actually, 0.8. There we go. Make it vertical. Let's see, vertical, vertical, vertical. Okay. Rearrange this. Make that 1. And then make this. Okay. We need to lengthen it, so I'm going to make this a lot longer, actually. Size should be 2. 0.2. We'll make it 0.25. Not 0.5. Let's see, instead of 1.43, let's go 125. And that will do it. Okay. 1028. This is the last thing that's going to happen. So let's see, 0.1. And then we'll go with, let's just say, 0.75 for this. And let's see, -5 for the offset. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we need to reorder these. So I'm gonna make this one 1. Make this one 2. Make this one, call it grenade. Make it 3. Okay, bomb. Make it 4. Yes, I'm not worried about the time. Okay, launch. Actually, this is melee. My bad. Make that one 6. And roll. Make that 7. And this is launcher. Okay, so we are officially done. Now, we're not officially done with this, but um, we're just going to say we're officially done for the day. Because right now it is actually 10:30 on the dot. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, my name is Erdos12, and I will see you next time. Next time we will actually be doing what's in this. Hold on. What's in this section. So, yeah. Anyways, cheers.